These are the various operators used in C programming language, and whenever all the operators occur together in an expression, then the main dilemma is which operation should I evaluate first, or which operation should I carry out first, right? So that depends on two things. One is called as precedence, and other is called as associativity. Precedence means you know this, when I have a plus b into c, then you are going to carry out b into c first and then plus, isn't it? Which means multiplication is having higher precedence than plus. So precedence means that way. And associativity means when you have all the operators of same precedence, then which one are you going to evaluate first? So first thing is, in an expression, when you have various operators means all this, these are all the operators in C programming language. When you have various operators in an expression, then if all of them are of various precedence, then we are going to take the one with the highest precedence first and evaluate it. In case if all the operators are having the same precedence, then there is a dilemma, which one to evaluate. There we are going to use associativity. So we are going to have precedence and associativity, and these two are going to decide the order in which we carry out or evaluate the expression, right? And depending on which the value of the expression will be varying. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just explain you this table, but then I'll not take any examples right now. I'll take the examples whenever they are required when I'm discussing about the programs. And one more thing, for data structures, I'm going to use at some points I'm going to use C programming language. So the entire data structures course is completely based on C programming language whenever required. I'm not going to use any other language, only C programming language. And when I discuss about the C programs, then maybe these will be useful, which means when I have various expressions and then these operators, then if you could refer this. So what I'll ask you is, this is also present in various books and you could Google out the diagram, or you can write it down somewhere. And whenever I discuss about any program, and when I try to talk about these operators, you please refer to this table and you can understand it. Okay, so let me explain what are these operators and then how they are arranged. Later we shall discuss about the examples whenever they come. Okay, now first of all, I'll just explain all this. See, these operators are arranged in various rows. Okay, so the way they are arranged in the rows, that shows the precedence, which means the first row is having the highest precedence, then the second row, and second row is having higher precedence than the third row, and next one like this. So the way when you are going down, it means that the precedence is decreasing. Okay, and one more thing, when you have the operators of same precedence, then what is the associativity? Then the corresponding associativity is referred here. So generally we have left associative and right associative. Left associative means when we have a big expression with all the operators of same precedence, or either two or more operators of same precedence anywhere, then you have to come from the left, and whichever occurs in the leftmost we are going to evaluate it. Which means when we have many operators like this, we are coming from the left like this, and whichever occurs at the first starting point we will evaluate it. When is that? Whenever the precedence of all the operators are same. Got it? Let me explain you all this. This is generally this parenthesis, right? The braces, and where they are used. Generally function calls in general, or sometimes even if you want to give some expression highest precedence, we are going to use this. So this is having the highest precedence, right? And this one is also having highest precedence. This is used for array indexing, if you remember, array indexing, isn't it? And these two are used to access the members of a structure. So structure and members, we shall discuss it. Okay, and this is not, right? And this is one's complement. So one's complement means if I have 101, then it is going to be 010. This is one's complement, and this is not, logical not, and one's complement. And this is plus plus and minus minus, or increment and decrement. Okay, and this plus and minus, they are unary plus and minus. Okay, so sometimes what happens is this same symbol will be used in two places, and they say that one is unary and other is binary. And whenever they occur in the program, how will you distinguish whether it is unary or binary? That depends on the context. If plus is used only with one operator, one operand, then it is unary operator. If plus is used with two operands, then it is binary operator. Okay, so here in this row, right, this plus and this minus are unary. In fact, all are unary. okay, and then star. This star is used with the pointer indirection. I'll talk about it. So this star is generally used with pointers, okay, and this ampersand is also called as address operator. Address means you can find out the address of an element in the memory using this ampersand, right? I'll talk about it later. And then this type is for typecasting. So what is typecasting is, sometimes we want to change the type of a variable from one type to other type, there we are going to use this, okay. And size of is used to get the size of a element. For example, if you type size of int, right, then you are going to get what is the size of int in that platform or in that operating system which you are using, right. So anyway, all these are unary operators and they have the highest precedence next to this one. And if you watch this one, it is right to left associative, which means if I have all these operators in one row, then you have to come from the right, and whichever occurs in the rightmost, that will get evaluated first, right? That is how this row operates. And the next row is binary operator. Star is multiplication, division and modulo operator. So these are having higher precedence than plus and minus. Plus and minus are also arithmetic operators. So these two rows are arithmetic operators. This is unary, these two are arithmetic operators. And this is less than, it is left shift and right shift. These are shift operators. So you know shift, right? Okay, even if you don't know it, I'll take examples later. And next one is, this is less than, these are all relational operators, which means we want to compare, right? So I want to compare between various elements, then I'm going to compare using this. Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to or not equal to, right? And these are bitwise operators. This is bitwise and anding means 0 and 0 is 0, 1 and 1 is 1, 1 and 0 is 0, like that. Bitwise and this is bitwise exclusive OR, and this is bitwise inclusive OR. You know exclusive OR and inclusive OR, right? Inclusive OR means normal OR. Exclusive OR means that we have seen already in digital, right? And this one is this two ampersand, these two are logical operators. This is logical and this is logical OR, okay. And this is ternary operator, which is used for comparison. In the sense, we can write bigger expressions in a small compact way using these ternary operators. I'll give some examples later. And the last row is assignment operators, equal to, plus equal to, minus equal to. They are also called as shorthand operators, right? So using these operators, we can represent a big expression in a compact manner, okay. Anyway, these are all assignment operators. And the last one is comma operator. So one thing you should remember is, almost all the operators are left associative except three rows. So one row is this, the unary operators, and the second row is this, the ternary operator, and the third row is assignment operator. So you by heart these three. It is very easy to remember. Everything else is left associative. Only the right associative operators are unary operators and ternary operator and then assignment operator. Everything else is left associative, okay. So there are various ways to remember this. I have read somewhere long back, I don't remember where I read it, but then this mind mapping technique has helped me to remember this. I'll just tell you what technique I used from somewhere, and if you like it, you can use it. Otherwise, you form your own. See, you forget about this, you remember this somehow, that function calling and then array indexing and structure membership. These are all of highest priority or highest precedence. You remember it somehow, and the remaining how you can remember is, if you look at the first one, right? The first one is unary, right? And the second one, in fact, these two rows, these two are arithmetic, A. And how to find, these two rows are represented with one letter, but then you should know how to differentiate or which one is having higher precedence among these five. That is very easy, I feel. And then this is yes, shift operator, the S letter is used. And then the next one is these two are comparison. You just have to by heart remember that these two are at lower precedence compared to this, right? And these three are bitwise, and you have to remember that bitwise and is greater and then exclusive OR and then inclusive OR. and these are logical operators, and this ternary you have to remember it somehow, and then this is assignment, and in the last there is comma, right? Okay, so now this is comma operator, right? Now how you can remember it is, now if you put all the letters together, initial letters together, you can form you ask, 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 black, blac, black. Okay, so one exception is before this assignment there is this ternary operator. Okay, so without this, these two rows, you can put all these letters together and you can remember it as you ask black. I mean, I used it, and I still remember it. Maybe if you don't like this one, you form some other thing, means you use some kind of mind mapping so that you can remember such tables easily. Okay, so once you remember it, you can easily answer some questions. Sometimes you might get a question from this table, in the sense they'll give you an expression and they'll ask you what is the value of it, right? So in that case, maybe remembering it is going to help you. I'm not going to ask you to by heart everything, but at least this table is worth remembering. In the sense, when you go for any product-based companies interviews, whenever they have C programming language, sometimes they are going to ask you this, because even Java is also having these operators, and almost Java is also having the same kind of precedence and associativity. Therefore, some companies, they will even ask you this. So even if it is not for GATE, for interview purpose, at least you have to remember it. Somehow, someday you are going to use it. Therefore, remember it now, and you try to map it well. Okay, so I'll explain with these operators with examples whenever they are required. It is not that everything is required, but then whenever they are required, I'll just come to this table and refer this, and I'll explain it with examples. Okay, fine.